Hello. I'll give everyone a minute to join as all the people are being notified that we're on live. Yay, so excited. Sorry I started a little bit late. I had a feeling it was going to be a skosh bit late. But with no further ado, we'll get started in about a second. So just get my notes pulled up here. I always, whenever I do live, try to have stuff pulled up. So let's get started. I'll tell you, the reason why your business may be failing or may be having issues, maybe you're not hitting your sales goals, is because your net is cast too broad. You are focusing too much on a broad population. You need to laser focus on who your ideal client is. And that's why I brought this training today, because I've had many calls over the last 2 weeks with clients and potential clients that were concerned because they're not hitting their sales goals. And whenever we started dialing in to what that looked like, it was always because their net was too broad. It was too big. When our net is really big, the holes are huge, so more they can get through it. But if we make our net smaller and more concise, we retain more. Does that make sense? So I know people say niche down, but when we specialize on who our client truly is, then that's where the glory is. That's where the benefit is. That is where you will flourish and your business will succeed. Okay. So that's what brought all this along today, was me just talking about those things. So let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like in your business you could sell more, or sales are slipping through, or you're not reaching your goals? I would go back into identifying who exactly your target audience is or your ideal client is. Okay. And I'm going to really quickly define for you what I think an ideal client is. But it's that perfect person, that client that if you could clone, you could have over and over and over again. That constantly is coming to you for business, for advice, even referring you on to others. That is your ideal client. You want to work with them. They value you, you value them. They value your brand, your offerings, all the things. They're typically ambassadors for your brand in some ways. And what I'm going to give you an example of one here that's local to me. He owns a few yogurtinis here in the Kansas City metro area, and I think his name is Isaac. Anyways, I interviewed him last December, and he has a specific marketing strategy where he targets women like between the I think mid 20s to like 50 or 55, something like that. And he's targeting them at certain times of the day, on certain platforms, all the things. And it's because he knows exactly who his ideal client is. And I'll tell you, when he started doing that, and he's got a brick and mortar, right? So I'm not talking about just people that are on social media, just have online businesses. I'm talking also as brick and mortar folks as well. Okay. But he's got a brick and mortar, but what he found is that his ideal client is on social media at certain times or in certain age groups, and he could target them. And that actually helped increase his sales because he was that specific with his target audience and his client, and he targeted them a certain way. It's pretty interesting to hear his methods, and they're true. They stand true to me and to people I work with. So I'm going to share three main topics today, and those are discovering who your ideal client truly is, finding your audience, where to find your ideal client, where are they hanging out, and then to the reason behind niching down in your ideal client even. And I know you hear that all the time. It's like, niche down. But seriously, just getting super laser focused on that client. Okay. Because again, a big net has big holes in it. A small net has small holes in it. Okay. So you can collect more that way with a smaller net. So those are the three things we're going to go over really quick, but I'd be remiss not to mention who I am. I am Lydia Cook. I am the founder and the CEO of Lydia Cook Coaching, and I help women, especially nurses, to live their dream lives, to take a dream. Maybe they're wanting to start a business or scale and grow what they've already got. They've got a little business, and to bring it to fruition, launch it into what they want it to be. So that way they're living their dreams. And that way they can have the life that they desire to have. And that's who I work with. That's what I do. I work with my clients all the way from determining what business to start, getting granular, niching down on what business to start, and that client, social media strategy, business strategy, all the way to launching the business. And that's what I work with my clients on. And then after that, scaling and growing that business as well. Um, I also have a course that I just put out that starts January 2nd, 2024. It is called 60 Days of Freedom, a nurse's guide to breaking business boundaries and entrepreneurship. However, it's not just for nurses, though. It's for anyone that wants to break into that business um, mindset and wants to conquer starting their own business, but they're like, "Ah, I don't know where to start. I don't know what business to start. I don't know where to find my clients." We walk through all of that in this course, and it's only in 8 weeks. So in 60 days, you're going to figure out what business to start and launch that business in 60 days. And there's a money back guarantee with it. It is phenomenal. But let's go ahead and get started with what we're going to talk about today. So first of all, let's talk about discovering your ideal client. So your ideal client is that person that, again, you would want to refer, that would refer business to you, be a strong ambassador for you and your brand, your company, whatever that looks like. But there's a few things you have to understand. First, you have to understand their demographics. Like I mentioned with my example earlier, are they single women? Are they moms? Are they, do they run a brick and mortar? Do they not? Uh, um, are they business professionals? I mean, get super granular, super granular. When I put my course together, it was all about, okay, I knew I wanted to do it for business women, but then my coach, I hired a coach. I'm a firm believer in coaches, excuse me, and being coached. He was like, get even more granular. I want you to get down even more. And he's like, what's your background? I'm like, nursing. He's like, perfect. And he's right, because nurses are burnt out at the bedside. So that was my ideal client, right? That demographic is women, nurses that are burnt out and looking for a way to grow their hobby or grow their business or just start something new from scratch. So, anyways, I hope that gives you an idea as towards how to determine that ideal client. But again, understanding that demographic, the psychographics, so digging in deeper into their interests, values, beliefs, behaviors, and motivations. Again, with my example of nurses that are burnt out at the bedside, I went as granular as say I want to work with women nurses. Mainly because I'm not opposed to working with men, but mainly because I have that bond with a nurse that's a woman, that's a mom, right? That has kids. I was that burnt out nurse at the bedside. I got tired of working weekends, holidays, and nights. Okay. And having to pick up extra shifts to make more money, which meant more time away from my family, which I was having no more of that. Okay. So again, the psychographics, that's my ideal client. Pain points. Again, just identifying what their problems are, their challenges, and how can your product solve them. That's why I developed my course, because I know for a fact, and I work with these people, that there are nurses that are wanting to start a business or they're wanting a different way, but they don't want to work for someone else. They want to be their own boss. They want to own their own time. They want to manicure their schedules and their life around what's important to them, their priorities, their families, their pets, their friends, whatever that is, their travel life, what have you. So that's what my course, my coaching business does for my clients. It helps them to manicure their lives so that way they can live the dream they want. Say you sell a product like earrings, or you sell necklaces or jewelry of any kind. Maybe it's lawn care. Perfect. Pain point for jewelry. You want to help your client to feel more confident when they get in front of other people they're presenting, or they're at church, or they're at the grocery store, what have you. I'm sorry, but you know what? I wear jewelry and I put makeup on because that's a few things I can control. Is my appearance. That's pretty much the only thing I can control at this point in my life. Really, is my appearance. So, and it makes me feel good. So, absolutely, there's some pain points you can speak to right there if you're selling a product. Okay, gut health, if you sell a supplement, okay, that's a pain point for a lot of people, is gut health, having energy, having the stamina to make it through the day without taking a bunch of extra like caffeine in and so forth. Although I do like caffeine. I only have it in the morning typically, but there's that. So speaking to those pain points. And then also just analyzing what your competitors do. Like, who is your competitor going after? That is another way to find out who your ideal client is, right? So I don't really, this is going to sound so cliche, I guess, but I am my own competitor. There are plenty of life and business coaches out there, but I'm always competing with myself, because you know what? There are other people out there that do what I do, but they're not me. They're not Lydia. So that's how I kind of determined. So whenever I looked back and I looked at my ideal client, I looked back at other coaches and so forth, to be honest. But really, I just try to focus on me and who my client is, and how I can serve them. Okay, so let's find your audience. Let's talk about where do we find the audience. Um, and again, it's going back to identifying who that client is, right? Excuse me. So, how to find your audience? I I'm just trying to think of how I can word this. Whenever I started on my social media journey with my coaching business, because this is my fourth business. Okay, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love working for myself and owning my own time, and I love serving people. But whenever I was like, okay, I should probably actually take this coaching business serious and take it online, that was scary. I'm just going to tell you that. But I was like, what are my competitors doing? So that's where it worked out really well to figure out where I should look on social media. But another great resource that I utilize is bard.google.com. I did a video about this last week, but it's bard.google.com. Again, it's bard.google.com. And you can type in there, find, I'm not going to do it right now because I don't have the screens pulled up. Otherwise, I would do it. But I did a video last week about it. So look it up. But find or type in the prompt, find social media groups where single moms hang out, or find social media groups where new to business entrepreneurs hang out. Find social media groups where insert your ideal client is hanging out. And it'll pop up a bunch of different social media groups, whether it's Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, um, Instagram groups, what have you, whatever exists out there. But it'll even give you groups if you wanted to that are not on social media, that are just like associations that you could go to, or meetups you could go to, or what have you. It'll give you those ideas too, which is super great. So, like if there's conferences happening nearby or something, if you, some of my clients are health and wellness coaches, and they may want to go to a wellness conference of some sort. So again, just kind of using bar.google.com to figure that out. And then, so again, it would be like social media platforms, like I mentioned earlier, utilizing those platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter to engage with your clients. Um, Online communities, like I mentioned, the Facebook groups, but then there's also forums and communities related to your niche as well, or to your business line. Content marketing, just creating content that addresses your ideal client's pain points, whether it's a blog, a podcast, or making posts or reels, what have you, stories on your social media platforms, that being Facebook, LinkedIn, X, formerly known as Twitter, uh, Instagram, YouTube, all the platforms. So again, just making those posts. Pinterest, another one that people are utilizing a lot more too. Just making posts that would speak to your ideal client and their pain points. Your ideal clients will find you that way too. And then also engaging with your competitors, and their clients are engaging in their posts, engaging with them organically and being authentic to who you are, and what you do will be a great benefit as well, because you'll start getting more likes, follows, shares, and engagement from other people from outside your circle, which is super phenomenal. And I go over this in my coaching class. We really dive in deep into those things, into social media strategy, engagement with other folks, and so forth, and um, how to be a service to your clients whenever you're looking at your competitors or what have you. And then networking events, like I mentioned earlier, just again, just going out into your community and networking, chatting about what you do with people in your community or your friends and family. You never know who they know or who they ran into during the week. And you know what? Don't be afraid to ask. Hey, do you know anyone? There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And you might be scared too, but if you really want your business to flourish, you have to suck it up. I'm sorry, there's some tough love for you, but you've got to suck it up, and you've got to be the face of your business, and you've got to talk to people about it, or it's going to go nowhere too. Okay. So that's a part of your ideal client. If you don't talk to other people, let them know what you're doing, it's not going to do anything. Okay. So there's that. And then niching down for growth. Again, it's just important to niche down. It just means focusing on that specific segment that your target audience is a part of or would identify with. It may again seem counterintuitive because you think, oh, I want to serve everyone. No, you don't, because not everyone you want to have as your client. Okay. And it's incredibly important for about four different reasons. Number one, expertise. Is just specializing in a niche allows you to become more of an expert in that area. So I'm going to take you to a doctor, an example of a physician. Okay. You've got um, you've got OBGYNs. My background's labor and delivery. I was a labor and delivery nurse for years. You've got OBGYNs or your gynecology doctors that do labor and delivery, or you have a family practice doctor. All right. So your family practice doctors can have this broad net of knowledge about all different things, but they're not going to be specialized in a certain one. But your OBGYN is going to be specialized in women's health and delivering babies. Okay. And I'm sorry, but whenever it comes to a gynecological procedure or a cancer of some sort, I want to go to my OBGYN. I don't want to necessarily go to a family practice doc. Let me give you an even better example. Would you want to go to a family practice doctor to help you with your cancer diagnosis, or would you want to go to a cancer specialist that specializes in that specific cancer? Would you want to go to a general cancer doctor? Or would you want to go to a breast cancer doctor if you have breast cancer? I mean, getting that granular on what that looks like is so important. If you can see it in that profession, you can see why it's important in your profession as well. Makes sense? I hope so. And again, it reduces competition. When you really niche down, it reduces that competition. It kind of releases some stress off your shoulders. Like, I don't have to worry about what this person's doing because I don't serve those people. I serve these people, you know? So, anyways, in personalization, again, when we niche down, we can be more personalized with who we serve and how we serve them. It's just tailoring those products and services towards your clients, which actually makes your job easier. Okay. Because when you've got such a broad net, you're easily distracted. It's like squirrel, squirrel, you know, when you've got that small net, you're narrowed down, you know exactly how to do certain things a certain way. Okay. And then it's just more effective marketing. Again, it just makes those efforts more easier and more efficient, and makes your time more efficient because you know exactly what you need to speak to and how to do it. If you're a social media manager, some social media managers will focus just on Instagram, and that's their baby. That's where they work. Some of them have a broader net and they do all the things. I actually reached out to someone recently because I was wanting to start a chat bot in my direct messages. And I reached out to a virtual assistant about that. And she's like, she said that she does stuff with automation. So I thought, oh, maybe she's got a, a niche in automating in direct messages. No, she doesn't. She had no clue what the heck I was talking about. And I'm like, okay, your advertisement is completely misleading, but B, I can't use you. You know, like this, I want that specific thing. So, anyways, I mean, just getting that granular, it just helps you be more efficient. You know exactly how to aim all of your efforts, your time, and your energy. So, again, the three things I want to go over that we went over today were uh, discovering your ideal client, then finding where your audience is, where they're hanging out, and then niching down for that growth. Because if we do not do those three things, we'll not be able to grow our businesses successfully because we've got such a broad net versus um, a tighter net with smaller holes. So I hope that was a blessing to someone. I want you to comment what was a blessing to you from this live, excuse me. And then also I want you to comment me if you want my tool that goes along with this. I have a PDF that I created for this. Just comment me and I'll send you my niching PDF. I'd be happy to do that. But if you want more information about my course, again, it's just an 8-week course, super simple. It'll take you from determining what idea you want to go with to launching the idea into your dream, into your dream life. So taking that idea and that business idea and launching it into your actual dream. It is a 8-week course, which has small cohorts. It includes me as your coach for those 8 weeks. And the smaller cohorts allow for me to train you, and then for open Q&A, which has, when it's just a small cohort, then what happens is you can ask me those questions that would be encompassed in my one-to-one coaching for my accelerator program I have for my one-to-one clients. So it's more, you're kind of getting a mix. It's kind of great, really. Now I think about it, it's super awesome because you get the one-to-one coaching, you get the group coaching, you get that sense of community, and you'll learn from other people, which seems kind of weird, I know, but you'll learn from other people and struggles they're having, and then it may bring some things to light for yourself, which is super awesome as well. Iron sharpens iron, as I always say. And then so we've got the 8 calls every week. It's every Monday at 1 o'clock Central, except for the first kickoff call will be on January 2nd at 1 o'clock. It's Tuesday, January 2nd at 1 o'clock. But then from there on, it'll be on Mondays. And there's a whole course structure to it. You'll have a login, you'll have a course to go into, and you'll have some homework to work on throughout the week. So that way you're not overwhelmed. A lot of my clients are like myself, busy moms, right? But they work other jobs. And so they're wanting to bring this dream to life while working another job. And that's exactly why I created this. So that way it's not overwhelming and it's simple. You're getting coaching and guidance. So that way you've got a clear path. Because I've taken courses and I'm like, I got nothing from this. Like, really? I spent all this money and I got nothing from it. Or I got something from it, but I had no coaching associated with it. So then I had to upgrade for more coaching. This has it all in one. And the first 6 people get it at an introductory rate. And then it goes up by 3 times the amount after the 6 people sign up. So after the first cohort, really. So anyways, comment course if you want to learn more about that. And I think that's really about all I wanted to cover. I'm just going back through my notes, making sure that we're good here. But again, I just want you to take time though to identify your ideal client, explore where to find them, and embrace the powers of niching down. Trust me, you'll thank me for it later. I was really resistant to it at first. When I first went into coaching, I was like, I want to serve everyone because I'm a nurse. I love to serve. No, I can't necessarily do that. I got to serve moms, women, and nurses that want to bring their dreams to reality in a business. So, anyways, again, comment me to get my niche down PDF or comment course to learn more about my course. But I thank you all for this Friday. And it is Christmas season. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the things. I may go live next week after Christmas. I don't know. I may not. But next year, you have a guarantee from me that I'm going to increase my social media presence, especially on Instagram, and I'm going to go live at least once a week. Okay. I'm debating on whether I should do it on Fridays or Wednesdays. Still, that's still up in the air, but it will be consistent. And those are the 2 things that you'll definitely get from me: consistent lives, and then also increasing my following on Instagram, especially. So, hey, take care, y'all. Make the rest of this Friday a wonderful one. And I want this to be the last live you watch this week. I want you to unplug and not do anything else until after Christmas, until you've given time to your family and friends who deserve you 100%, because you want them to love you and your business and not regret it. And when you push them aside to do work, they're going to start to regret your work. So, hey, take care. Have a good one. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and many blessings to you and yours.